Hello to the curious, the inspired, and the ever-learners. Ali here, and today I'm going to share something that's going to change the way you interact with AI forever. Forget complicated prompts or technical jargon. I've created a prompt engineering template that anyone can use. I've been refining this one for a while, and the techniques I use are incorporated in the template and examples, which we go over later in the video. Now, we've all been there where we're prompting a language model and we get vague responses or they completely miss the mark, and it's super frustrating because it's just a waste of time trying to explain what we want. It's like trying to order a coffee without telling the barista if you want it hot or iced, with milk or black. You're probably not going to get what you want. Now, firstly, let's discuss what is prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is the process of designing and refining inputs called prompts to effectively guide generative artificial intelligence systems towards producing desired outputs for you. At its core, it's a systematic approach to crafting instructions that help AI models to understand context and generate more accurate, relevant, and useful responses for us. Now think of prompt engineering as the art and science of communicating with AI. Just as giving clear directions to a knowledgeable but easily confused assistant requires precision and context, effective prompt engineering involves structuring queries to maximize AI model for performance. It combines elements of natural language processing, software design, and user experience to bridge the gap between human intent and machine understanding. Now let's break down what effective prompt engineering looks like. Firstly, designing clear instructions that specify the desired task or goal. What are you trying to achieve? For example, I want to know the best times to travel to England at the lowest cost possible for flights, activities, and accommodation. Number 2, providing relevant context to guide the AI's understanding. Going off the first example, you can add that you're traveling from a specific country, so it can take into account your local currency and compare it to the destination currency. Number 3, iteratively refining prompts based on model responses. Now, depending on the language model you're interacting with, like ChatGPT's 4.0, Sonnet 4.0, DeepSeek R1, you will need to use specific words as you'll receive different responses. Number 4, understanding model capabilities and limitations to craft appropriate responses. Now, why should you care? Well, because the difference between a good prompt and a great one can mean the difference between a mediocre response and getting exactly what you need. And that's why I've created this fill-in-the-blank template that works with any AI tool. Think of it as your universal AI translator. Here are the key components. Role: this is to tell the AI what you need it to be. Task: this is what you need done. And context: your situation and goals. Now, these 3 things are absolutely necessary when prompt engineering. The next 2 are optional, but they do help, so I'd recommend you try and incorporate this in somehow. Now, these are format, how you want to present it, and tone, the style you're looking for. Once you enter these components into either a chat as a persona or an AI agent, you won't need to do it again unless you want to create a new persona or AI agent. If you're not sure the differences, I've got videos that covers this as well, which I will post somewhere on your screen. Now, let me show you this in action with real-world examples. The first example we're going to be talking about is writing a professional email. Now, in my examples, I'm going to be using ChatGPT just because when people think AI, they typically think ChatGPT, especially for beginner people or people who aren't really conversed with AI, and that's absolutely fine. I just want to show you that what I'm about to teach you can be used agnostically across any tool, but we're going to use ChatGPT because it's just an easy tool to use. So firstly, as we've gone through my example, we've got the role, the task, the context, format, tone, and length as well. I've decided to add that a little bit there just to keep it extra, but remember the first 3 things is the role. So I'm telling ChatGPT that you are an expert business communicator. The task I want is to write a professional email declining a meeting request. And the context is that I'm a project manager who's been invited to a meeting that doesn't relate to my current projects. I want to politely decline while maintaining good relationships. And the person who I'm talking to is a senior colleague from another department. Now, I've just given it that context and it should be able to do it. Just even if I removed all this, it will give us a good response. However, I just want to make it, the more specific information that you get it, the better the response. And I'm just wanting to show you that. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that, and we're going to come up and see what does ChatGPT come up with. And as you can see here, a very nice, succinct email. It's not overly wordy. It's not a wall of text. It's just 2 paragraphs. The first one being the main thing. The second thing just to kind of sign off. And that's it. Nice and easy, right? Let's move on to the next example. Now, in this example, we are going to ask the AI to be an expert teacher so it can teach us something new. And in this case, I wanted to teach me how compound interest works. I'm a 25-year-old person. Well, I'm not really, but that's fine. The AI doesn't need to know that. And I want to start investing, but I don't understand the basics. And I just want to learn the fundamental to make better financial decisions in the future. So I want it to just give me some more info on that. So let's go ahead and submit it and see what it comes up with. Look at this. So I love the format that ChatGPT gives you. It does it in bullet points. And for me as a learner, I learn better when it comes to bullet points. So I consume that information a lot easier. It's given us a simple explanation, as I did ask it to make sure that it presents it in a simple explanation and make it give us a practical example and use a friendly, encouraging tone. And look at this. It looks amazing. This is great. And I can keep chatting with it the more and more if I want to go into it. We can go, okay, how would I start? And let it just keep going and keep using the same thing, the same format, the same encouraging tones, and to keep it nice and simple. And look at that, it just gives you two sentences for every step to explain what exactly you want to achieve here. And lastly, let's just use one final example just to really drill this home. In this example, I want to improve my team communication, and I'm going to I'm going to ask the AI to take on the role of a project manager. I've never actually been a project manager. It's just a lot of my clients seem to be project managers. So this is just really effective for them. So in this situation, I want them to talk about, I want ChatGPT to help me improve my team communication with people who are mainly remote. I've given it I've told them there's 8 people and they seem very disconnected. I want to find a practical way to improve collaboration and team spirit. When it comes to working, these are actually really important. You really need to have that morale and that team culture to really boost your work quality from the staff or the people that you work with. And as well, again, the format, we're going to ask it to be in a list of actionable suggestions and focus on solutions that don't require expensive software. So this is just a little bit of extra, just thinking a bit forward thinking into the future. And as you can see, it's doing it in actionable steps, very simplistic, nothing overly the top. And it's even giving us a free tool that we can use, which is Google Forms. And that's perfect. All right, so those are my 3 examples. And hopefully now that you've seen it in action, you can see how good that template is and what good prompt engineering can give you. And to take it up one more level, here are some superpower user moves that you can take on as an extra bit. So firstly, save your best prompts for reuse. If you found a prompt that really works for you, copy and paste it into a doc like Google Docs or a tool like Notion, and just keep reusing it, obviously adjusting it for different use cases, but it's really handy to have something there that you can fall back on and then iterate on top of. Second, start simple, then add details. In AI, it's all about working iteratively. That's the best way to work with your tools. What does that mean? It simply means you start, you get a rough result, and then you just keep improving and readjusting and readjusting and readjusting until you get the result that you want. Ask for improvements if needed. Now, AI is an expert at AI, so why not ask it how it can be better? Just prompt it. Ask ChatGPT, ask Perplexity, ask whatever tool that you're comfortable using, and just say, how can I make this prompt better? Be specific about tone and style. Now, I know I said this is optional, but honestly, it does take it to that next level. And I really believe that if you can nail the first 3 things of the role, the task, and the context, and then and you're getting comfortable with that, and then you start adding tone and style, you'll get a better result. Feel free to experiment with the style. In the end, it's contextual to yourself unless you're going to be publishing it to allow other people to use it, but make it more personable. Give it a sense of humor, give it wit, give it puns, or you can always ask it to respond in things like bullet points like I have, for example. Remember, AI is like having a super smart assistant who wants to help but needs clear instructions. This template is your shortcut to getting those amazing results you see others getting. Check out the comments below for a copy of the template. If you like what you've watched or think I can improve my videos, drop a comment below with some feedback and consider liking and subscribing for more. For now, Take care, and as always, be kind to each other.